Plymouth State Broadcasting, your source for complete game day coverage of every Panther home game. Find out more information about us on social media at facebook.com/PSU Broadcasting.
My name is Kirsten Morrison, aka Keek. I'm a senior here at UMass. I'm in the Exercise Health Sciences program, and I play volleyball, basketball, and softball. You know, I came here for volleyball, and I chose between basketball and softball, and I went with basketball my freshman year to play, and it's always kind of been a thing that I wanted to do is play softball my senior year. And after talking with Coach Dagg, she was like, yeah, come on the team, and I was like, all right, and here I am playing 3 sports this year. Being a beacon, I don't even know if words can describe. You know, coming here as a freshman, I was a little nervous and scared, but you know, I walked in these doors and they all had open arms. You know, they showed me the ropes. You know, the coaching staff, the athletic staff, the chancellor, the vice chancellors, everyone here is so welcoming, and I really can't stress enough about how much this is really a second family for me here at UMass. I'm at my 1,000 points this year. It's amazing. I don't even think words can describe how I feel about it. It's something I've always wanted to do my whole life, and doing it here with my teammates and the coaching staff here is just an unbelievable experience, and I'm so happy to be able to do that. I'm doing my internship this summer at the Quincy YMCA, and I really hope to be coaching in my future.
Building for the Future at Plymouth State University, a ceremonial groundbreaking for Merrill Place, a 348-bed residence hall and conference center centrally located and constructed to meet the needs of modern-day higher education.
This institution of higher learning has always evolved as it adapts to the needs of its students and to the broader society we serve.
It will be the place where they, as undergraduates, expand their knowledge, exchange ideas, debate issues, serve each other, and plan their futures.
One of the key features of the 7-story, 95,000 square foot building is a first-floor conference center, a venue that will be used year-round.
To attract more people to the town of Plymouth and to the campus as a year-round facility.
Merrill Place is scheduled to be finished in the fall of 2017. It will be PSU's 8th residence hall, allowing the university to offer on-campus housing to nearly 2/3 of its undergraduate students.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris, the subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown, and it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey, and that all came through the University of Massachusetts, and that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
The UMass Boston Beacons baseball team, who went 23-15 this year and have consistently been a leader in their conference without having a home field to play on. That will change next season.
I am so happy and excited to join Boston College High School and your wonderful president here to provide more space. It's not just for us, Father Monin, it's for the youth of Dorchester and South Boston to be able to play as well. So your field will be used by quite a few of us for so many wonderful things.
But my hope is that the sound of the bat, that's so irresistible to us at Fenway Park, will echo through this field and will call further together the academic communities of BC High and of UMB, but especially that it will call together the youthful neighborhood communities of boys and girls who are awaiting it so eagerly.
I can't wait to put those shovels in the ground. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the final game of the Little East softball tournament here at D&M Park, as we have a Game 2 to decide the champion between the UMass Boston Beacons and the Plymouth State Panthers. Hello, everyone. I'm Wes Nauer, joined by my colleague Dan Salzer. And Dan, the way this tournament's gone all this whole weekend, you had to know we were heading for a final elimination game here.
Yeah, it just seemed like with the interruption, Plymouth really couldn't get themselves regrouped after that 24-hour rain delay. They were already down a in a 2-0 hole. We saw the pitching change with the undisclosed injury to Moylan after yesterday. So Matthew was in the circle, saving Miller for this decisive game. And then just the Beacons working aggressively in the base pass. We saw, I believe, 3 stolen bases last game between yesterday and today, and just doing what they needed to get here. But once again, another fluke rule. Plymouth State, with the way the tournament is set up with the Little East Conference, I figured all the tiebreakers, they're up in the press box, but they'll find themselves with the road team here in championship game number 2.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will break down the weekend that has been the Little East tournament and get ready for starting lineups, national anthem, and this final game to decide the Little East champion.
Plymouth State Athletics is brought to you by Portland Glass, Biederman's Deli, Northeast Delta Dental, the New Hampshire National Guard, Merchants Auto and merchantsauto.com, Student Transportation, and by Fairfield Inn & Suites by Marriott.
There's a path that takes you further in life. A breakthrough way of learning that prepares you for an ever-changing world. At Plymouth State, you'll find your way and learn more about yourself. It starts with our bold new approach to learning, the first of its kind at any university in the country. We call it our integrated clusters approach. You choose your area of interest, then focus your degree by adding courses from any discipline, from any department. Think of it as education without limits. Imagine how you'll grow with a truly interdisciplinary degree program. Then imagine how well Clusters prepares you for the ever-changing world out there. Clusters gives you hands-on experience working with top companies and institutions. You'll be part of a progressive team, developing innovative solutions to real-world problems. You see faces up here, not crowds. Set in the foothills of the White Mountains of New Hampshire, there's genuine magic here. It's the way a university should be. Living in a vibrant community with a huge heart. Some degree programs even offer a 4+1 accelerated track, which lets you complete your master's degree in just 1 year. We see you, the doer every day, the innovator, the tomorrow changer. Find your own path at Plymouth State University. See further up here.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
Back here at D&M Park as we get ready for this final championship game in the Little East Championship, and kind of recapping the tournament. It started off as a 4-way tie, 4 co-champions, Plymouth State, Western Connecticut State, Eastern Connecticut State, and then these UMass Boston Beacons. And then the final 2 spots came down to a coin toss, essentially 3 teams, 7-7, the USM Huskies, the Keene State Owls, and then the UMass Dartmouth Corsairs. And then after it was all settled down, Panthers were called the #1 seed, began hosting the tournament, and then it started off with a huge win against Keene State on Tuesday, in which Miller pitched a gem. I believe the final score was 2-0 in that game.
It was 2-0, and you got to call that one again with my other duties for other work. I wasn't able to make that game, but We've seen, as we talked about yesterday, this Plymouth State team grow so much over the course of the year. They're a very young core team with Birch behind the plate as a freshman, Miller being that number one as a freshman and looking everything about that number one role as we expect her to go today. We're still waiting for the lineups, but to figure out what this team was going to be early on was tough because they were road warriors, as head coach Bruce Addison said in an interview with what I had with him at the end of the regular season after sweeping Rhode Island College, is that with all the snow, they've had to switch games. Again, the doubleheader against UMass Boston, as you said, around Easter weekend, was a home doubleheader for Plymouth, but it was at UMass Boston because the fields weren't ready. We had snow piles behind us at the fence that were at least 10 feet tall, even with the plows coming out here to try and get it ready. But it was mid-April by the time we got our first doubleheader. It was a Thursday. We had doubleheader for home opener, and that with Keenan. Then it was the season finale essentially on Saturday.
So the second day of this tournament happened here at D&M Park, moved up to Thursday due to yesterday's inclement weather. Keene State took on Eastern Connecticut State, an elimination game there. Extra innings before Eastern Connecticut State finally picked up a 1-0 victory, eliminating Keene State, and we were here for that. It was a great game by Eastern Connecticut, their first of many they would have in this tournament.
Yeah, we saw them just battle hard. It was a very close game, which threw us off for the rest of the day. That's why we went till 11 o'clock at night. But just their grit, knowing that, we saw the outstanding pitching that first game against Keene. It was an elimination game right off the bat. Both teams just couldn't get any offense going with how great the pitchers have been in this league.
So then after that, it was the next game. It was between the Western Connecticut State Colonials and the Plymouth State Panthers. Plymouth hosting the tournament for the first ever time, looking to eliminate WestCon, and that's exactly what they did. Another huge pitching performance from Caitlin Miller to give the Panthers the 3-1 victory.
3-0 victory in that
yes.
one. But again, a shout out to my alumni as well as Caitlin Miller's for Oyster River, just a great prodigy. She's gone from there, but she was outstanding. Yes, she was nervous in the first inning and a half pitching. We expected that. All eyes on her. Everyone here at Plymouth for the first time ever, as you mentioned, Weston, for this tournament, being the number one seed. But then she settled down. She'd rattled off 12 up, 12 down in a row, middle innings, and got a little close, but it really was Mel Goss at the plate, covering home. A little confusion on the infield with some plays. I forget what hit it was, but she was able to tag out the runner at the plate and secure that 3-0 victory. And Plymouth State really hasn't looked back since until this past game.
Thursday, a big day here at Plymouth State. We also had a women's lacrosse game semifinal. I went over and worked that, so I had to miss the UMass Dartmouth versus UMass Boston game. A quick shout out to the women's lacrosse team. They did win the LEC championship today. A final score of, I believe, 12-11 or 13-12 down in Eastern Connecticut. So I'll have you recap that one for us.
Yeah, it was, again, another very, very close game that saw UMass Boston pull out a 3-2 victory over the UMass Dartmouth Corsairs. That was a first game that it wasn't an elimination game, so UMass Boston got out early first by Nicole McSweeney with a single, came home to score a run on Sheeran's RBI in that first. Right back, UMass Boston tied it up in the first. It was 1-1 for the longest time before UMass Boston broke things open. It was 3-1 in the third after a couple of errors and a bunt single that saw Caitlin Morris, a second baseman in that game, get a 2 RBI single that brought home Pressmack and Braga, and then it was the Beacons holding on late in the 6th inning that saw UMass Dartmouth get 1 run, but that's all they could get, and UMass Boston advanced to that later game against the Panthers.
So then we head off to Game 4 on Thursday, and this one was by far the craziest game of the day. 10 innings, another elimination game between the Corsairs and the Warriors, and the Warriors once again pulled it out.
Yeah, Warriors to get second extra inning game that day. That one went 10 innings. Saw our first night game essentially then, but it was just back and forth. Once again, we saw the Corsairs get out early in the 2nd inning. They were out 2-0. They scored 2 more in the 3rd inning, and then it was in the bottom of the 3rd, or correction, it was the top of the 3rd that Eastern Connecticut State came back, got that 3-2 lead. UMass Dartmouth got 2 more in the bottom, and then it was late on in the 4th inning that Eastern Connecticut State got the lead and tied it and held on the rest of the way before Duffy came home after stealing a base and getting that run home that held on in the top of the 10th inning, and that sent the Corsairs home.
So it was the fifth and final game after that, a first for both Plymouth State Broadcasting and the Plymouth State Softball team. A night game here at D&M Park, and what a game it was. Panthers picking up the 5-2 victory, giving them their first berth ever into this Little East Championship.
Yeah, it was a crazy game. Another 3-run game as the Panthers won 5-2, but it was back and forth. Definitely a pitcher's duel as we saw Annie Thomas in the circle for UMass Boston. We saw her start off the championship game yesterday and continue on today, but just back and forth, and we saw some questionable calls, as I will say politely, at first that UMass Boston thought was incorrectly called, and we saw one of the assistant coaches get tossed from that night game on Thursday, and a lot of frustration that really rattled the Beacons. Plymouth State able to kind of compose themselves and not let the chirping happen or the anxiety from the Beacons kind of bother Plymouth State's game plan, and they executed beautifully. They got the ground balls. Again, going into this tournament, over half this roster for the Beacons batting over 300. I don't have it in front of me what it is going into today at the moment, but Plymouth State kept everything low and away, got a ton of ground ball outs, saw only 3 strikeouts in that nightcap, and Plymouth State found themselves in the championship.
So it was with that we moved on to the Friday of the tournament. We knew the weather was going to play a factor. Luckily, we did get that first game, and we pretty much knew coming in that was probably the only game we were going to be able to get in. But it was an elimination game. These UMass Boston Beacons and Eastern Connecticut State, and the Warriors, again, finally just coming up a little short.
Yeah, it was another close battle in that 10 a.m. game between, as you said, the Warriors and UMass Boston. Boston got out early once again. It was Caitlin Morris who was hit by a pitch in the first inning, reached third on a wild pitch, and then came home to score a run on Reskowski's single. I believe that was to right field in the first inning. Right after, once again, Eastern Connecticut State battling back, and we saw this all tournament by the Warriors. They give up a couple runs or a run in the top of the inning, they come back and score and tie it up in the bottom, and that's exactly what happened. We saw Kristen Ryan, the designated player, get a RBI double in the first that brought home Pissanelli, and then it was a battle. We saw UMass Boston finally gain the lead in the third on Reskowski's run home, as I believe, trying to look at my notes here, it was Taylor Polina, the designated player, reached on the error that brought home Reskowski in the third, and right from there it was a pitcher's duel and saw the Beacons advance to the championship game for the second time in 2 years.
So we headed to the first of the 2 championship games we're now going to play, hoping the Panthers could pick up that 1 win to get it done. As soon as they started play, Dan, the skies opened and play was called after about an inning and a half. We came back here today, finished the game roughly about 20 minutes ago, and it was a 3-1 victory for UMass Boston.
Yeah, just going back to that one, it's all down to what happened yesterday, as you said, Weston, going before the rain delay. It started raining during the end of warm-ups. UMass Boston, because they played right before, didn't even take infield warm-up for that championship game. And it saw UMass Boston get out to a very quick 2-0 lead, and I've got to account that with Moreland in the circle. Yes, we understand that she suffered an injury before that game, but it's the rain. Everything was being skipped in, even with Thomas in the circle for the Beacons. They could not hold on to the ball. It was either sailing high out of the zone, or if they did get it, it was sailing right over the middle, and that's what saw UMass Boston get the runs. We saw a single by Pressmack with a wild pitch get to second. She came home on the hit, which we'll get into a second. Caitlin Morris reached on a walk. She came home on that 2-run, 2 RBI double, that is, by Reskowski, and that's really what sealed the deal yesterday for the Beacons. They got an insurance run here today in the 4th inning on a sacrifice, I believe it was. I'm trying to read my notes right here. It was Morris under the single, and before she was tagged out at second on the throw back in, but that brought home Pressmack, and then Plymouth State got 1 back in the 4th, and that was it. We saw UMass Boston pull out essentially an unbelievable play, and here we are in the championship game number 2.
So that's your full recap of the Little East tournament to this point. We get ready for this final game here as Plymouth State and UMass Boston set to battle for the championship. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineups, the national anthem, and the championship game here. You're watching Panther Little East Softball on Pemmy Baker TV and LittleEast.tv.
What separates UMass Boston from other schools is the fact that a large percentage of students commute.
For me, it takes 2 hours each day to go to and from school. But every second has been worth it because the students that come here are serious about learning, they value their education, and understand where it'll take them in the future. This is what UMass Boston means to me.
Plymouth State Athletics is brought to you by Portland Glass, Biederman's Deli, Northeast Delta Dental, the New Hampshire National Guard, Merchants Auto and merchantsauto.com, Student Transportation, and by Fairfield Inn & Suites by Marriott. Plymouth State Broadcasting, your source for complete game day coverage of every Panther home game. Find out more information about us on social media at facebook.com/PSU Broadcasting.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris, the subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town. UMass Boston, Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
There's a path that takes you further in life. A breakthrough way of learning that prepares you for an ever-changing world. At Plymouth State, you'll find your way and learn more about yourself. It starts with our bold new approach to learning, the first of its kind at any university in the country. We call it our integrated clusters approach. You choose your area of interest, then focus your degree by adding courses from any discipline, from any department. Think of it as education without limits. Imagine how you'll grow with a truly interdisciplinary degree program. Then imagine how well Clusters prepares you for the ever-changing world out there. Clusters gives you hands-on experience working with top companies and institutions. You'll be part of a progressive team, developing innovative solutions to real-world problems. Education becomes dynamic at Plymouth State. Our faculty believe in you because collaboration works both in the classroom and beyond. You see faces up here, not crowds. Set in the foothills of the White Mountains of New Hampshire, there's genuine magic here. It's the way a university should be. living in a vibrant community with a huge heart. Some degree programs even offer a 4+1 accelerated track, which lets you complete your master's degree in just 1 year. We see you, the doer every day, the innovator, the tomorrow changer. Find your own path at Plymouth State University. See further up here.
Take me out to the ball game, take me out to the crowd, buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks.
The UMass Boston Beacons baseball team, who went 23-15 this year, and have consistently been a leader in their conference without having a home field to play on. That will change next season.
I am so happy and excited to join Boston College High School and your wonderful president to celebrate this symbol of our institution's friendship as well as our shared commitment to this special neighborhood. Not only are we thrilled to be building a new ballpark with our neighboring teams and for all of our neighboring teams, but we could not be happier to provide more space. It's not just for us, Father Monin. It's for the youth of Dorchester and South Boston to be able to play as well. So your field will be used by quite a few of us for so many wonderful things.
But my hope is that the sound of the bat, that's so irresistible to us at Fenway Park, will echo through this field and will call further together the academic communities of BC High and of UMB, but especially that it will call together the youthful neighborhood communities of boys and girls who are awaiting it so eagerly.
I can't wait to put those shovels in the ground. Thank you.
Back here at D&M Park, the final championship game here between the UMass Boston Beacons and the Plymouth State Panthers. West Neighborhood Dan Stalls ready to bring you the call as we get set for the starting lineups and national anthem here, as the sun we had earlier, Dan's kind of just disappeared, but still a dry day. We'll take that as much as we can.
Yeah, you know, whatever we saw, I mean, that's just going to be a non-factor here. We haven't seen a home run yet in this entire tournament here in day 2, 3, or 4. Don't expect to see one with a wind coming in from center field to home plate. But just, it's all or nothing for both of these schools. A winner of this not only takes the title, but moves on to the NCAA tournament in the Northeast Regional for the first time in school history.
So the fans are ready. I think we're ready. The players appear to be ready.
I know the fans are off to all right. They've been ready all since Thursday morning.
As the coaches are discussing the lineups here at home plate. And yeah, as you mentioned, neither school playing in this championship game has ever made it to the NCAA tournament, so a big game here for both of them.
Again, UMass Boston in the championship game the first time last year. I believe it was against Western Connecticut State, if I'm not mistaken. Plymouth State, as we've alluded to a lot here the last 3 days, first time ever in the championship game, first time hosting the tournament. So I wonder if it was the nerves in the last game, also with the rain delay, technically being the away team with the way the rules are, here once again for the second championship game. But now that it's a fresh start, it's all going to get into one day. It's going to be a good one here. It's going to be a barn burner.
Coaches have exchanged lineups as we'll send it now up to public address announcer Chris Kilmer as he gives the starting lineups here at D&M Park.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to D&M Park. for Game 11 of the 2017 Little East Conference Softball Championship. Our final game this weekend will feature the number 4 seeded University of Massachusetts Boston Beacons and the top seeded Plymouth State University Panthers. The University of Massachusetts Boston will be the home team on the scoreboard. Plymouth State will be the visitors. Now let's meet the members of today's game. First, Allison Moylan. Number 2, Taylor Wood. Number 4, Hannah Seidner. Number 5, Mary King. Number 7, Kayla Nestor. Number 10, Kayla Matthew. Number 11, Autumn Bear. Number 13, Nora Butler. Number 15, Jen Landers. And number 16, and now the starting lineup for the Panthers. Number 19, the first baseman, Katie Kennard. Batting. Number 3, Rachel Morrissey. Just the right one. Batting third and playing 6, Emma Rose. Batting fourth, the designated player, number 17, Avery Davis. Batting fifth and playing third base, number 24, Melissa Goss. The left fielder, number 20, batting eighth and catching 18, batting ninth, the shortstop, number Morrill. Miller. The Panthers are coached by Bruce Addison in his 14th season. He's assisted by Lee Macris and Paul Zaffini. I'm going to need the UMass Boston lineup. And now let's meet the reserves for the University of Massachusetts Boston. Number 6, Megan Hober. Number 8, Jackie Flynn. Number 10, Kayla Harris. Number 11, Annie Thomas. Number 13, Ari Bellata. Number 17, Angelina Avatable. Number 22, Chaselyn Bergio. And number 20. Okay. And now the starting lineup. Leading off and playing left field, number 12, Kira Prusmack. Batting second, the second baseman, number 7, Caitlin Morse. Batting third and catching, number 9, Roxanne Vento. Batting fourth, the right fielder, number 16, Gia Raskowski. Batting fifth, the designated player, number 15, Taylor Polina. Batting sixth and playing third base, number 14, Alyssa Tully. Batting seventh, playing first base, number 19, Lauren Mitsieres. Batting eighth and playing center field, number 5, Giovanna Bonilla. And batting ninth, the shortstop, number 3, Gigi Braga. Pitching for the Beacons, number 2, Jess Greenspan. The Beacons are coached by Natalia Argana in her 10th season, assisted by Josh Bartley and Sue Killalay. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to rise as we honor America of the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to remain where you are at the end of this game, as there will be an awards presentation honoring the two teams and the tournament's most outstanding player. Thank you.
So that was public address announcer Chris Kilmer with the starting lineups. Again, Plymouth State, the visiting team in this championship game due to tournament rules. We'll take a look once again through the Plymouth State starting lineup. It'll be led off by first baseman number 19, Katie Kennard. Batting second, center fielder number 3, Rachel Morrissey. Batting third, the second baseman number 6, Emma Rhodes. Batting fourth, designated player Avery Davis. Batting fifth, the third baseman number 24, Mel Goss. Batting sixth, left fielder number 12, Cassidy Emerson. Batting seventh, right fielder number 20, Nina Murray. Batting eighth, the catcher number 18, Haley Birch. And then rounding out the order, the shortstop number 23, Deb Morrill.
Defensively for the Beacons, towing the rubber in the circle will be Greenspan. Vento behind the plate, Mitsiaris at first, Morris at second, Bragda at short, and Tully at third. And then once again, left to right in your outfield, same as before. Pressmack in left, Bonilla in center, and Reskowski in right field.
Greenspan came in as a relief pitcher back in the first game here today and had 9 up, 9 down.
Yeah, she just absolutely looked outstanding coming in relief as she came in the fifth inning, the start of the fifth inning, and only had 1 strikeout, but all, for the most part, only 1 ground out, mostly pop-outs and flyouts.
So about to get underway, the final game of this Little East softball tournament. The winner will be the LEC champion for the first time in school history, as Katie Kennard steps up to the plate.
Katie Kennard, last game, 0 for 3. She grounded out to short and flied out to left and right field.
As we are now underway here, Greenspan toes the rubber. The first pitch to Kennard. Taken outside for a ball. And the Plymouth State bench already fired up right off the bat.
I do not doubt it. They were kind of quiet in the first championship game, but here they go now.
Kennard will watch that one for a called strike.
Yeah, Greenspan, again, works a lot quicker than most pitchers in the circle in the Little East Conference. Not quite a catch and release, but really effective working middle in on the zone.
1-1 pitch. Low and in the dirt, ball 2.
Yeah, nice trying to fool with the off-speed pitch. Panthers are most likely going to be sitting on a lot of fastballs from Greenspan. Trying to get Kennard to chase there.
Greenspan delivers the 2-1. Just outside now, Kennard with a 3-1 count.
Again, the Panthers did get a good look at Greenspan moments ago in the last game.
3-1 pitch. Taken for a ball, and it's a leadoff walk for Katie Kennard.
Absolutely what the Panthers needed. Get aggressive early. Now we'll see if we see some stolen bases. Panthers had that double steal, Weston, we saw last game trying to get aggressive. That did get that essentially a lone run for them this morning.
It's going to bring up the center fielder in Rachel Morrissey.
Morrissey was 1 for 3 last game with a double in the first inning yesterday and a ground out to short.
Morrissey lays down a beautiful bunt down the third base side that will move Kennard to second.
Smart play there by Morrissey again, no outs. Moving the runner into scoring position with Kennard.
So now runner on second, 1 down, brings up second baseman Emma Rhodes.
Emma Rhodes last game was 0 for 3, pop out to short, ground out to short, and flat out to right field. So top of the order, really struggling with the Panthers here in the last couple of games.
This Little East Radio.
First pitch taken for a called strike. Oh, 1 pitch now to Rhodes. Swung on, chopped right down the first base line, fielded cleanly by Mitsiaris. But with 2 down now, Kennard will be at third base.
Smart play there, trying to get it down the first base line, allowing Kennard to get to third base. But with 2 outs, Panthers definitely need to get through with a hit here to get out early.
So it brings up the designated player in number 17, Avery Davis.
Davis last game was 0 for 2 with a walk, stolen base, and a run scored. She grounded out to the circle and flied out, or popped out, that is, to first base as well.
First pitch swinging, a little dribbler over to Morse at second. It's going to be a close play, but Morse will put it away. So despite the leadoff runner getting on for the Panthers, the Beacons are able to strand her at third. We head to the bottom of the inning, 0-0. Heading to the bottom of the first inning, we'll take a look at the Beacons batting order. Batting first, the left fielder number 12, Kira Pressmack. Batting second, second baseman number 7, Kaylin Kamo Morse. Batting third, the catcher number 9, Roxanne Vento. Batting cleanup, the right fielder number 16, Gia Razkowski. Batting fifth, the designated player number 15, Taylor Paulina. Batting in the sixth hole, the third baseman number 14, Alyssa Tully. Batting seventh, first baseman number 19, Lauren Mitziaris. Batting eighth, the center fielder number 5, Giovanna Bonilla. And then batting ninth, shortstop, Gigi Braga.
Defensively for the Panthers here in the championship game, it'll be the freshman duo with Miller in the circle and Birch behind the plate. Kennard at first, Rhodes at second, Morrill at short, and Goss at third. Emerson in left field, Morrissey in center field, and Murray in right.
Miller, the ace of this Panthers rotation, a 1.80 ERA, 11 wins, 5 losses, and 20 appearances this season. 16 or 17th total start here as the paper is able to be read because the wind just messing with us once again. She has 8 complete games, 3 shutouts, 105 innings pitched, only 98 hits given up.
I'm going to say it every time. Miller, alumni of Oyster River like myself. Great to see great pitching coming out of Durham, the Lee, New Hampshire native.
Again, we've ever had any athletes here from my hometown of Woodstock, Vermont here at Plymouth, so I can't brag on anyone.
I don't see too many Oyster River here, but I love to see it.
Pressmack steps up to the plate for the Beacons. Her first pitch swung on just a little dribbler to Birch. It's going to go foul.
Again, looking back in my notes from the last game, Pressmack had a good game. She was 2 for 3, 2 singles, stolen base, 2 runs scored. She also grounded out to third.
Miller now getting set to deliver the 0-1. Swung on a little popper. It's going to go out of play behind the press box. Pressing down a quick 0-2 hole. Miller pitched against these Beacons in the regular season, picking up a complete game shutout.
Yeah, that 3-0 win that was technically a Plymouth State home game as it was switched from here to UMass Boston due to the unplayable field conditions.
The 0-2 pitch. Swung on a little chopper over to Morrow, and she's not going to have a play as Pressmack has a ton of speed out of that batter's box.
Yeah, we saw it to lead, or back in the 5th inning last game, and just slowing down that bunt and a slap bunt essentially, and just her speed down first. Panthers can't do anything in the infield.
So now it'll be the second baseman, number 7, Kaylin Morse.
Morris was 1 for 2 with a walk, run scored in the first inning. She grounded out to second in the second inning, and then RBI single in the 5th inning.
That one slapped back to the backstop.
On the third base side, bleachers, the Panthers side for this championship game, starting to fill up some more. Same with the outfield with us here in center field.
0-1 pitch, a little bunt drop down by Morse. It's going to advance Pressmack, and Morse will also be safe as more speed out of that batter's box for the Beacons.
Just absolute fire with these runners here from UMass Boston.
So some quick trouble now for the Panthers as runners are on first and second with no outs for catcher Roxanne Vento.
Vento 1 for 3 with a single, with a stolen base as well. 2 groundouts to second base. The Beacons threatening early, just like we saw moments ago in the last game.
First pitch to Vento, swung on and missed. Beautiful pitch from Miller.
Vento swinging for the fences, trying to break this game open early.
Pressmack on second, Morse on first, both on infield singles. It's an 0-1 count now to Vento. She'll watch that pitch for a called strike.
Beautiful fastball there by Miller as the left-handed pitcher tailing away, just catching the outside part of the plate. Look for an off-speed pitch, kind of down and in right now.
Panthers trying to dance out of danger. 0-2 pitch. High and away for a ball, trying to get Vento to chase. First ball from Miller in this game.
Yeah, exactly opposite of what I thought. Got to be careful. Anything kind of hit the center field, so there's a chance to get the runner home at second. And Pressmack.
1-2 pitch. In there. Oh, they did call it a ball. The umpire looked like he was getting ready to call it, but a 2-2 count. That one just missing.
That breaking ball, essentially a curveball coming in at the letters, trying to drop back into the zone. Miller just a little bit too far inside.
2-2 pitch now from Miller. Swung on. It's going to go out of play over towards the Panther bleachers. And we'll do it again now with a 2-2 count.
I mean, either way this ends up, it's fantastic for both schools. They have battled hard this entire tournament.
2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. A beauty from Miller. And one down now for the Beacons.
Great pitch there, just coming with absolute gas, getting Vento to chase it.
It's going to bring up the right fielder, number 16, Gia Razkowski.
Razkowski was 1 for 3 last game. She had the two-run RBI double yesterday in the first inning, and then she popped out to second and flied out to left.
So Birch comes out to have a little quick conference with Miller. Look for the Panthers to try to keep that ball low here to try to get the double play if they can.
Again, we still have yet to see a double play turned. Again, infield way shorter than it is at baseball, so it's harder to do so.
Sun appears for about 2 seconds. I love it.
As long as it's not raining, that's all I care about.
First pitch to Razkowski. In there, it's going to hit her. So a rare hit by pitch from Miller. It loads the bases for the Beacons.
Yeah, tough one there. She tried to come in on the hands and jam Razkowski to get the pop out and essentially put the Panthers in position just to get the ground out and avoid and forget about the base runners. But Beacons threatening here.
10th batter that Miller's hit all season. As now with one down, the bases are loaded for Taylor Paulina.
Paulina 0 for 3 last game. Pop out, fly out, and a ground out.
First pitch, taken high for a ball.
Again, Miller still staying on the inside hands right now. Trying to avoid Beacons from driving anything out to center field with only 1 out.
Bases loaded, 1 out. 1-0 pitch. In there, called strike.
Nice pitch down low. Paulina smartly not chasing that. Most likely would have been a ground ball. Could have been a double play.
It's Pressmack on third, Morse on second, Razkowski on first. Miller's pitch, a little bunt. Drop down onto the home plate. They're going to say she's safe. A very close play there in the first run for the Beacons.
Absolute brilliant play there by Paulina. Just to throw down a bunt. Panthers were expecting a swing. No one were able to chase it as the corners were out at the bag covering. A brilliant play call there by the Beacons to get out early, 1-0.
So now bases are still loaded with 1 out for the third baseman in Alyssa Tully.
Tully 0 for 3 last game. 2 flyouts to center field and a ground out to short.
That one taken, called strike. And yeah, a huge job there by Pressmack to just get a great run off of third and get in for that first run for the Beacons.
So much speed by Pressmack we've seen this tournament.
Little chopper there over to Rhodes. She bobbles it, but on to first for the out. But another run for the UMass Beacons here in this first inning.
Yeah, tough one there as looks like Rhodes kind of just bobbled it. Kind of picking her head up early, thinking she had a chance at a double play to get out of the jam, but at least they get the second out, but another run home early, and again, 2-0 to start here for the Beacons' second straight game.
Yeah, it feels like deja vu minus the weather here, as it was the first 2 runners to score for UMass Boston in today's game, as that first pitch to Mitsiaris is low for a ball.
Mitsiaris 0 for 3. She popped out twice and struck out swinging last game.
Miller delivers the 1-0. Swung on high out to Murray, who puts it away for the out. But we head to the top of the second. The Beacons strike first for 2 quick runs. They lead it 2-0.
Plymouth State Athletics is brought to you by Portland Glass, Biederman's Deli, Northeast Delta Dental, the New Hampshire National Guard, Merchants Auto and merchantsauto.com, Student Transportation, and by Fairfield Inn & Suites by Marriott.
There's a path that takes you further in life. A breakthrough way of learning that prepares you for an ever-changing world. Plymouth State's integrated clusters approach lets you follow your own path, not someone else's. It gives you choices within your degree, open labs, real-world experience, with faculty who work with you every step of the way. Become the leader, the doer every day, a tomorrow changer.
Back here at D&M Park for the top of the second, 5-6-7 due up for the Panthers will be led off by third baseman Mel Goss.
Goss was 1 for 2 last game, a single, hit by pitch, stolen base, struck out swinging.
Watches that first pitch low in the dirt for a ball. See how the Panthers answer back here after giving up 2 runs in that bottom of the first inning.
Panthers 1 hit, 1 left on base, last inning for them.
1-0 pitch to Goss, swung on and missed. Nice cut there from Goss, just over the top of it. Greenspan delivers the 1-1. Swung on, chopped back over to Braga at short, on to Mitsiaris for the out.
Fans, join us on social media on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram, Plymouth State Broadcasting and at PSU Broadcasting. See all of our game highlights, our player profiles, and coaches' corners, and just let us know how we're doing as well.
Left fielder Cassidy Emerson steps up to the plate for the Panthers.
Emerson 0 for 2 last game.
Watches that first pitch outside for a called strike.
Did reach on an error in the second inning yesterday, but that's as far as she got.
The 0-1 pitch. Swung on high, but foul.
Also, fans, use the hashtag LEC Softball today on Twitter and see your tweets live on the air. We'll get that going here in a minute.
We'll see what Emerson does here now with an 0-2 count. That one low and inside for a ball. Good job by Emerson to lay off.
Yeah, just too low there by Greenspan. Trying to come down and in, keep it at the knee top to chase it, but kind of rolling that one in there at the plate.
Greenspan delivers the 1-2 to Emerson. Swung on. It's going to fall in between Razkowski, and now she's going to bobble it. Emerson rounds first, heading for second. So I believe it'll be a single for Emerson and a error by Razkowski. Nonetheless, Emerson now on second base for the Panthers.
Absolute clutch hitting there by Emerson, just when the Panthers need it, being down in a 2-0 hole here in the second inning, and now we need clutch hitting from Nina Murray, what we saw yesterday.
1 out, runner on second. It is the right fielder in Nina Murray stepping to the plate.
Murray did struggle against these Beacons last game. She did get a sacrifice RBI, but she also popped out and flied out. So she was 0 for 3 last game.
First pitch from Greenspan. Low and inside, taken for a ball.
Greenspan not wanting to leave anything out over the heart of the plate. Murray will drive it the opposite way, but the wind is again coming in from center field right to home plate, keeping everything that's popped up in the air towards the infield grass.
1-0 pitch, fouled back as we move the count to 1-1.
Again, that sacrifice was an absolute liner to Bonilla in center field last game.
Emerson on second, the 1-1 pitch to Murray. Taken outside, 2-1 the count.
Greenspan doing well with that fastball, trying to get Nina Murray to chase. Nina Murray was leaning in, and she rightfully so held off the swing. Look for a breaking ball inside.
Greenspan delivers. Swung on high in the air, but back behind the press box.
Came back in with a fastball that started tailing up in the zone, in on the hands of Murray. She was able to foul it off, though.
So Murray now working a 2-2 count. Greenspan steps up to deliver the pitch. High and taken for a ball. Murray now with a full count.
Yeah, Vento doing well, trying to drop that one with the glove, trying to get the call, but no go, just too far out.
Emerson on second, full count to Murray. Greenspan delivers the pitch. Swung on, fouled over on the first base side, and we'll do it again.
Again, fans, we apologize for the wind noise in our headsets here in center field as it's coming from our backs.
Three-two pitch from Greenspan to Murray. Swung on, little chopper, fouled once again.
Again, Greenspan coming up and in on the hands. All Murray could do just to do a defensive swing is get around that early and pull it foul. It's really been all fastballs here from Greenspan. I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to get an off-speed pitch and throw the timing off of Nina Murray at the plate and get a big strikeout here.
3-2 pitch, the eighth pitch of the at-bat coming here from Greenspan. Swung on high in the air. Brazkowski's going to come in and pick it up for the out, and it's unfortunately too shallow to send Emerson to third.
Again, getting that up over the press box just absolutely killed that fly ball to right field. If that wind was not coming in from center field, I think that would be back towards the fence and allow Emerson to get to third.
So it brings up the catcher in number 18, Haley Birch.
Birch 0 for 3 against the Beacons last game. Pop out, fly out, and a ground out.
First pitch to Birch, swung on and missed. A huge breaking ball there from Greenspan. Birch had no idea it was coming.
Yeah, Birch just saw Murray get all fastball, so she was sitting on one trying to get ahead of it, and nice breaking ball there by Greenspan.
Greenspan delivers, high and away. 1-1 now the count. Overcast day here at D&M Park, but dry and a little bit warmer as Greenspan delivers. That one outside and low, 2-1.
Definitely not as warm as it was this earlier afternoon when we arrived. But at least, again, as you said, it's dry. And the field looks fantastic. Grounds crew has done a fantastic job over the last 24 hours to keep the field playable.
2-1 pitch from Greenspan. Swung on, perhaps in play, but it's going to go out over by the Panther bleachers.
Yeah, once again, in on the hands of Birch. She's just swinging around that, avoiding the strikeout. Panthers again trying to avoid leaving another one on base.
The 2-2 pitch with Emerson on second. Swung on and missed, and the Beacons get out of trouble once again. We head to the bottom of the second. They lead 2-0.
Welcome back to D&M Park. And attention Panther fans, Plymouth State Athletics has launched a new online apparel store. Visit www.pantherlockerroom.com and gear up for the next big game today. All sorts of merchandise on there for you, interchangeable logos, and get out there and support your favorite Panther team.
So we head to the bottom of the second inning. 8-9-1 due up for the Beacons. Will be led off by the center fielder, number 5, Giovanna Bonilla.
And Bonilla 0 for 1 with a walk, stolen base, and a fly out last game.
First pitch swinging, popped high in the air to Rhodes, who will put it away for the first out. So one down now quickly for the Beacons as it brings up shortstop Gigi Braga.
Gigi Braga was also 0 for 1. She walked in the second inning before the rain delay and then popped out in foul territory to third base.
First pitch to Braga, fouled out of play. Oh, 1 pitch. Swing and a miss there. Beautiful pitch from Miller.
Miller with a fastball just tailing away like a two-seamer off the plate.
It'll be interesting to see, Dan, how she enters back. The first 2 runs she's given up here all tournament. As she has Braga now down in an 0-2 hole. That one missing high and outside for a ball.
We saw her struggle on Thursday night against these Beacons. Correction, it was against Western Connecticut, my apologies, in that first game, where she struggled that first inning and a half, able to settle down.
That one high and away now, 2-2.
But that point, she did not give up a run. Now she finds herself in an 0-2 hole. Wonder if she's going to be trying to reach back too much and put, essentially her team on her shoulder. She's got to rely on what she did the other night and get the ground ball out.
2-2 pitch, swung on, just a little chopper over to Goss, on to Kennard for the second out.
Fantastic job there by Goss at third. Know the speed of the UMass Boston Beacons and able to do a quick change out of the glove to her hand and a nice accurate throw to Kennard at first for the out.
Takes us back to the top of the order now for Pressmack.
Pressmack again with that infield single in the first inning, came home to score the game's first run.
Kira Pressmack looks to lay down a bunt, but it's called for a strike.
Again, the outfield playing shallow right now as Pressmack expected to use that bunt and her speed to get on first.
0-1 pitch. Just outside now, 1-1. One pitch now from Miller. Pressmack went high to get on that one.
That tomahawk chop again, trying to lay down that slap bunt.
Brings the count to 1-2. As the Panthers look for a 1-2-3 inning. Did she lay it down? I don't know if she did, but they're going to call a third drop strike anyway, so Pressmack will be on first base.
Oh, tough break there for the Panthers. Just nothing they can do with Pressmack in the leadoff spot.
So it will be the first strikeout of the game, or second strikeout of the game for Miller. But unfortunately, they're going to send her back.
Say go foul? Again, UMass Boston can't believe it, and kind of reminiscent of what we saw Thursday night against these Panthers with the frustrating calls the Beacons saw.
We'll see what the call is, but yeah, they must say that she got at least a piece of it with the bat. They're going to call her safe is the final call.
That's a nice idea to check down at third and make sure.
So with a runner on first, it's going to bring up the second baseman in number 7, Kaylin Morse.
Morse with a bunt single in the first inning. She also came home to score the second run for the Beacons here in this championship game for the Little East Conference.
It's first pitch swinging back to the backstop.
Again, Plymouth State fans, an update around Panther Nation. If you weren't with us last game, as Plymouth State women's lacrosse defeats Eastern Connecticut State, the 2-1 matchup. to claim the Little East Conference title and advance to the NCAAs.
0-1 pitch now from Miller. High for a ball.
Looked like that was kind of designed there by Miller to allow Birch behind the plate to have a nice snap throw. We've seen Pressmack kind of go off and running a couple times.
Yeah, Pressmack leading the team in stolen bases. Had one in the first game today, moving a total up to 12. That one swung on and missed from Morris, now a 1-2 count.
Another tailing, essentially like a two-seamer in baseball, just high and away, keep moving off the plate. Morris trying to catch up with that one.
Pressmack on first. 1-2 pitch from Miller. Swung on, hit into center field. Morrissey's going to field it cleanly, but a single for the UMass Boston Beacons, and with 2 outs, they have some life on the base paths.
The top of the order for the Beacons is so dangerous. That's already 3 hits between Pressmack and Morse.
It's going to bring up the catcher, Roxanne Vento.
Vento struck out swinging her first time up last inning.
Panthers in early trouble here. They do have 2 outs, but Pressmack on second and Morse on first. Pressmack taking off for third. It's a high pop-up, but right over to Morrow at short. So despite getting 2 runners on, the Beacons can't capitalize. Right to the top of the third, they lead 2-0.
As you head off to college, you crave independence, but you want to know you're not alone. At Plymouth State University, our close-knit campus and experienced faculty allow you to learn more without going too far away. Find out more at plymouth.edu/learn more.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
Back here at D&M Park, top of the third coming your way. Will be led off by the 9-hole and shortstop Deb Morrow. Panthers currently trailing 2-0 to the UMass Boston Beacons.
Yeah, tough one here is Morrow last game. She popped out to third in the second inning and then flied out to left field. Once again, last inning, Panthers left another one on base. That's a total of 2 for the game. Has another hit, 2 for the game. Still can't score a run, though. Beacons so far have left 4 on base, have 4 hits, 2 runs scored.
And one thing we haven't seen yet, Dan, from these Plymouth State Panthers is they've had hot bats, especially on Thursday. They were crushing the ball. Just have not seen that yet in these first 2 games.
Just the Beacons playing very aggressively, catching the Panthers off guard. And you wonder, as we mentioned in our pregame show, the Panthers with a very young lineup, and how are they going to cope with the pressure?
So Deb Morrow steps up to the plate. As Greenspan gives one last word of encouragement to her team and steps up to the rubber. First pitch delivered to Morrow. Swung on, laced right back up through center field. A leadoff single for the Panthers.
Absolutely what the Panthers needed with help at the bottom of the order. And Morrow gets them going once again.
So we'll see what they can do. No outs, runner on first. Back to the top of the lineup, and Katie Kennard.
Kennard walked her first time up, was stranded on second base in the first inning. First time the Panthers had a lead-off runner on this game.
First pitch to Kennard. Taken low for a ball. Greenspan now delivers the 1-0 pitch to Kennard. Taken low in the zone for a called strike.
Don't know if you can pick it up on our headsets, but the drumming essentially with the softballs off the side of the dugouts. Panthers doing anything they can in the dugout right now to get their team going.
1-1 pitch. Swung on, but foul out of play.
And it reminds me a lot of the baseball classic. The drums in the stands. Great atmosphere here at D&M Park for this championship game.
1-2 pitch now to Kennard. Swung on, lace back up through center field. Braga can't come up with it, and it's back-to-back hits for the Plymouth State Panthers.
Wonder if they're going to call that an error. Braga's absolutely upset with herself as it came off her top hand, but nevertheless, Panthers get the first 2 on.
It'd be a tough error for Braga. She had to make a lot of ground to try to get a glove on it.
I'm going to call that one a hit.
So back-to-back hits put the Panthers in business for center fielder Rachel Morrissey.
Morrissey, 0 for 1. She laid down that sac bunt to advance Kennard to second in the first inning.
We'll see what she can do here with Morrill on second and Kennard on first.
Panthers essentially really need to get at least 1 run home here. I know it's still early on.
First pitch to Morrissey, lays down a beautiful bunt, but it's going to just go foul.
Now Morrissey getting on the top of that one, hitting it between her legs back to Vento.
We'll see if she decides to lay another one down here.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would definitely lay down the bunt, hopefully get it down the first base side and advance the runners.
Morrissey so good with the bunt, not just in this tournament, but all season long for the Panthers. She shows it again. Beautiful bunt down the third base side, but it will go foul.
Nice job there by Tully at third as she was coming down the third base line to allow that one to go foul.
And we'll see what they do here. We have seen the Panthers bunt with an 0-2 count before.
And looks like Bruce Ask is going to put on the hit. Let Morrissey swing away at this one. Hopefully just drive one deep and advance at least 1 runner in Morrill at second to get over to third.
2 runners on, 0-2 count. Still no outs for the Plymouth State Panthers.
Again, as you said, Weston, in our Panther pregame show, both teams were 2 of the 4 that tied for the regular season title.
Greenspan delivers the 0-2. Taken outside for a ball. Good job by Morrissey to lay off. That was a beautiful pitch there from Greenspan.
Fastball just starting to tail away, trying to get Morrissey to chase it. But, I mean, as we mentioned, any team could have won the regular season title, and it was been close, and we expect this one to be just a nail-biter as well.
1-2 pitch taken outside now, 2-2. Morrissey battling back.
Yeah, that breaking ball. Trying to dive at the plate and cut back in, just tailing away once again. Nice job by Rachel Morrissey to battle back to a 2-2 count.
2-2 pitch. Taken outside now, full count for Morrissey.
Vento once again behind the plate, trying to frame it, pulling that one back in a hair. Not going to get that call.
3-2 count to Morrissey. Morrill on second, Kennard on first. No outs for Plymouth State. Greenspan delivers the pitch. Taken inside, called third strike as Morrissey was crowding the plate a little bit there. Huge first out for the Beacons.
What an absolute beautiful pitch there by Greenspan. That tailing ball coming inside, just catching the corner of the black. Nothing Rachel Morrissey could do.
It's going to bring up the second baseman in Emma Rhodes.
Rhodes grounded out her first time up in the first inning.
First pitch swinging, fouled out of play. And one of the things the Panthers struggled with in the regular season was leaving runners in scoring position. They got better at it over the last 2 home games we saw here at D&M Park, as that one's loaned in the dirt for a ball.
But still, it's kind of been a plague of them, even against Rhode Island College in the sweep, to essentially help them get a tie in the regular season title. I forget how many. It's at least 7 left on base.
1-1 pitch. Swung on, lace down to Morris at second, on to Mitsiaris, but a huge second out there for the Beacons as runners now in scoring position, but has to take a hit to get them in.
Well, that's fine. You've got a smart player here in Davis coming up.
So second and third brings up designated player Avery Davis.
Davis 0 for 1, a ground out to second in the first inning. All you need is a liner back up the middle.
Davis does lead the team in RBIs, a huge opportunity here. First pitch swinging right down the third base line. Picked up easily by Tully onto first, so the Panthers once again strand the base runners on. They do not get a run. They trail 2-0.
Back here for the bottom of the third inning, it'll be the heart of the order, 4, 5, 6. As Reskowski, Polina, and Tully do up. Reskowski so far hit by a pitch, was stranded at third in the first inning. Miller with the delivery. Off-speed pitch down and away, hitting the dirt. Miller does have 2 strikeouts here today. 1-0 delivery missing high. Quickly 2-0 in favor of Reskowski.
Yeah, Miller so far just hasn't really looked. Miller so far just really hasn't looked all that comfortable in these first couple innings. That one's in there for a called strike now, 2-1.
Nice off-speed pitch there, dropping. We saw the fastballs early on in the first 2 innings by Miller. Now trying to use the off-speed pitch to get the timing offs here by the Beacons batters, but just missing the zone.
3-1 pitch. Swung on a moonshot there, perhaps in play. Emerson ranges over to make a beautiful catch, and 1 down now for the Beacons.
Gotta love the new fencing here at D&M Park. A little out dent in the fence allowed her to make that catch.
So 1 down now brings up the designated player in number 15, Taylor Paulina.
Paulina 1 for 1 with a bunt single and an RBI in the first inning.
First pitch to Paulina. Just missing outside.
Nice job there by Birch, trying to frame it, just can't get the call. Really haven't seen anyone in this tournament here in Plymouth frame it and get the call made.
Yeah, especially today, both Birch and Vento struggling with the frames as a 1-0 pitch comes from Miller. Over to Morrow at short. On to Kennard for the out. A nice low pitch there from Miller to get the ground out.
Really surprised Polina went down to chase for that one. It was almost just kind of hovering over the dirt, but nevertheless a golf shot right at Morrow. Nice pick up and throw over to first. Panthers getting 2 quick outs.
It's going to bring up the third baseman, number 14, Alyssa Tully.
Tully 0 for 1 with a sacrifice and getting the RBI in the first inning.
First pitch swinging out to Morrissey, who will put it away for the out. So the first 1-2-3 inning for the Plymouth State Panthers, they still trail 2-0 as we head to the top of the 4th.
Plymouth State Athletics is brought to you by Portland Glass, Biederman's Deli, Northeast Delta Dental, the New Hampshire National Guard, Merchants Auto and merchantsauto.com, Student Transportation, and by Fairfield Inn and Suites by Marriott.
As you head off to college, you crave independence, but you want to know you're not alone. At Plymouth State University, our close-knit campus and experienced faculty allow you to learn more without going too far away. Find out more at plymouth.edu/learn more.
Back here at D&M Park, 5, 6, 7 due up. West out here with Dan Salzer, bringing you coverage of this Little East Championship on LittleEast.tv, as well as Pennybaker TV here in the Plymouth area. As mentioned, Mel Goss will lead off the inning here for Plymouth State.
Again, looking at it, we're approaching 20 hours of coverage for us over the last 2.5 days.
Yeah, this is technically our last broadcast of the season, as this is our last home game.
Yeah, I don't think women's lacrosse will have an NCAA home game. We'll wait and see with selection tomorrow, right? What is it? Today's Saturday?
Tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know what day it is anymore at this point.
They all blend together. When your Thursday feels like a Saturday, it's going to be a rough weekend. First pitch to Goss, outside for a ball.
Goss 0 for 1 with a ground out to short in the second inning.
Again, we apologize for the wind in our mics, as a hefty breeze coming from center field.
There's only so much we can do out in the open.
That one taken, called strike. A beautiful pitch from Greenspan.
Greenspan with an absolute gas coming in on the outside part of the plate and high. Nothing Melissa Goss could do.
And that's what she's been using this whole game to really confuse these Panther batters early on. 1-1 pitch, low and in the dirt now, 2-1. I love the no, no, no chant. That's just one of my favorites.
Just the camaraderie and the atmosphere at softball, at the not even high school level.
That one's low and in there. Thought he was going to call strike, but it is indeed a ball now, 3-1.
It's just absolutely fantastic. I love the chants from both sides. It's clean, but they're all trying to get into each other's head, essentially. It's cool to see.
3-1 count now. Mel calls for time. She will get it granted. Now steps back up. 3-1 pitch. In there, called strike now. Mel Goss works a full count.
She thought about pulling the trigger, rightfully so. That one was tailing back in on her. Had to hold up, and for the fourth time today, or in the last 2 games, she gets a full count against her.
Third full count of the game for Greenspan. As that one swung on, but just over the reaching glove of Greenspan. It's going to be a close play, but Braga with a huge throw to nail Goss at first.
Goss just not with the speed needed. A little blooper, but a hard throw from short from Braga over there to first. Panthers struggling here to get some momentum going.
It's going to bring up the left fielder, number 12, Cassidy Emerson.
Emerson 1 for 1 with a single, got to second base, I believe, on an error.
Yeah, had that nice little single to Razkowski. Razkowski bobbled it in the outfield to move her to second. We'll see what she can do here with 1 out, no runners on. First pitch swinging, but right over to Morse. Morse bobbles it, and Emerson's going to be in there with her blinding speed.
Yeah, it's going to be an error there in Morris as she knocked it down, lost it in her legs. But Emerson, once again, reaching base for the second time, giving the Panthers some hope here as we hit middle part of this game.
Panthers have to start capitalizing these runners on base, as it'll bring up the right fielder, number 20, Nina Murray.
Nina Murray 0 for 1, flied out to right field in the second inning this game. Such a dangerous hitter for the Panthers. Kind of a little bit spotty here this tournament.
First pitch to Murray, swung on a high fly ball. Razkowski tries to track it down, makes a diving effort. It's going to fall in for a hit. Emerson into second base as the base goes flying. She reaches out to tag it just to be safe, but both runners safe. A nice leadoff, or nice single, I should say, for Nina Murray.
That was so close for Emerson, though, as Emerson had to hold up at first base as that was diving. And we saw Razkowski charging in. As soon as she dropped it, Emerson was off, but man, that was a close play there at second.
Yeah, it even looked for a second like that ball might drop foul. Razkowski making a huge diving play, and as you mentioned, kind of caught Emerson off guard. She had to make sure she could still get in there on time, but nonetheless now 1 out, 2 runners on, and a huge at-bat here for Haley Birch.
Birch so far 0 for 1. She struck out swinging in the second inning, but for the second straight inning, the Panthers have 2 runners on, trying to get something home.
Panthers, as mentioned, have to start getting these runs in.
Again, last inning they had Morrill at third, Kennard at first, and then got 3 straight outs against them for the Beacons to get out of the jam.
So it'll actually be a pinch hitter now for the Panthers. We're going to see number 16, Lindsay Hall.
Hall pinch hit for Birch at the end of last game.
First pitch there, blown away for a ball.
Hall flied out to left field to end what was a first championship game.
1 down, 2 on. 1-0 pitch. High and inside, ball 2.
Great eye there by Hall to lay off of that one.
Panthers looking to strike here. They trail 2-0. Hall swings, chops that one back to Greenspan, who's on to third. They're going to try to get Hall at first, almost thrown out of play. Good job by Mitziaris to rein that in, but they will get Emerson at third base.
Yeah, beautiful awareness there by Greenspan, not to panic and try to throw it on to first, but they got the lead runner here with 2 outs. Beacons once again having a chance to get out of a big jam.
So it's going to bring up the shortstop and Deb Morrow with runners on first and second.
Morrill, 1 for 1 with a single, stranded on third base last inning.
First pitch she sees. Taken in there, called strike.
Temperature continuing to fall here, D&M Park, campus of Plymouth State University.
0-1 pitch, swung on, chopped over to Braga, who's going to go on to third to get Murray. And once again, the Panthers can get 2 runners on, but they just can't bring them home. We head to the bottom of the 4th. They trail 2-0.
Fans, welcome back to D&M Park. And be sure to check us out on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Plymouth State Broadcasting, at PSU Broadcasting. See some of our game highlights, our player profile, and Coach's Corner interviews. And also join us on Twitter using the hashtag LSC Softball and see your tweets live on the air that you just saw. Be a part of our broadcast here this afternoon.
Lauren Mitziaris up for the Beacons will take that first pitch from Miller for a strike.
Mitziaris 0 for 1. She lined out to left field her first time up in the first inning.
Next one to Mitziaris is just outside now, 1-1.
Staggering right now is the left on base for both teams. Right now UMass Boston has left 4 on base. Plymouth State has left 6.
Yeah, UMass, though, able to put 2 across way back in the first inning to give them a 2-0 lead. That one high and inside now for a ball. And yeah, the Panthers they've had great offense. They just have not had timely hits to bring those runs in.
So all those singles early on. Panthers do have 5 hits. UMass Boston Beacons with 4.
2-1 pitch. Nice job in there from Miller now, 2-2.
Mitziaris really just taking that one all the way. And as you mentioned, Weston, Miller just doesn't look like she has the control that she had earlier on in this tournament.
2-2 pitch swung on, just past the outstretched glove of both Goss and Morrow, and it's a leadoff base hit for the UMass Boston Beacons.
Mitziaris was sitting on a fastball from Miller, having to reach out and kind of hold up her swing a little bit, and gets that off-speed pitch and a nice liner through short. And the leadoff runner on, as you said.
So now it's going to be the center fielder, number 5, Giovanna Bonilla.
Bonilla, 0 for 1. She popped out to second in the second inning.
And we have a coach talking to the umpire. We'll see if it's either going to be a pinch hitter or a pinch runner.
Does look like a pinch hitter.
So we'll wait for the call from Chris Kilmer, as can't quite see who it is. It's going to be... I didn't even hear what he said.
I get my notes pulled out right now. It'll be Ari Bellata.
That one taken, called strike.
Number 13.
Yeah, Bellata, the freshman from Leominster, Massachusetts. First pitch there, nice little dribbler, but it's going to go foul. Find yourself now down in an 0-2 hole as Mitziarch was taken off for second on the little bunt and run.
Bellata way back against UMass Dartmouth on Thursday was 0 for 3, 2 groundouts and a pop-out as the designated player in the 5-hole.
Swinging a drive there right into the glove of Rhodes for the first out.
Rhodes, right place, right time, just throws a glove out to her left a little bit, makes a nice catch.
So now it's going to be one down. Brings up the shortstop in Gigi Braga.
Braga 0 for 1, ground out to third, back in the second inning.
First pitch to Braga, a little bunt, drop down, fielded by Goss. Goss, a little hesitation, and both runners will be safe for the Beacons.
Again, these aggressive bunts by UMass Boston is really wreaking havoc on the Panthers. Just a lot of hesitation, can't get the throws off, and just like that, 2 runners on for UMass Boston.
Yeah, Panthers have not been able to pick up the small ball hero in this game, as 2 runners on, 1 out for Kira Pressmack.
Yeah, we head back to the top of the order. Pressmack, 1 for 1 with a single. She did strike out, but reached on the drop ball in the second. Does have a run scored.
Another bunt. Pressmack lays that one down, and just foul, but a break there for the Panthers, as she definitely would have been safe.
Just the speed by the Beacons. I am absolutely out of words for. They are just so fast laying these bunts down and getting down to first base. Nothing that the Panthers can really counter with. We see Melissa Goss almost practically standing at home plate. See Rhodes from second coming in on the corner as well.
0-1 pitch, swung on chopper, foul over into foul territory. Now 0-2. Mitziaris on second, Braga on first. Pressmack at the plate. Beacons looking to add to their 2-run lead.
Again, if Pressmack can just get a hard shot here, everyone is in right now for the Panther defense.
0-2 pitch, little chopper just past the now stretched glove of Goss. It's going to stay fair, I believe. And yeah, it will stay fair. Bases are loaded now for the Beacons with 1 out.
Gorgeous opportunity here for UMass Boston to blow this game open. Goss on the third base side just trying to hug it, waiting for the bunt attempt, and it slapped past her glove into left field, and Emerson just doing what she can to keep it in front of her. Just like that, bases loaded with only 1 out here for the Beacons.
So we'll see what the Panthers decide to do. They have a little conference in the circle. It's going to be the second baseman in number 7, Kaylin Morse.
Morse 2 for 2, 2 singles on a bunt and a hit to center field. A run scored as well, so she's had a very active day in the 2 spot.
First pitch to Morse. Swung on, but foul. Now down the hole, 0-1. Beacons threatening here with the bases loaded, 1 out. Bottom of the fourth inning, the 0-1 pitch. Just high. 1-1. Miller now delivers. Swung on over to Morrill. She makes a diving stab at it, but will get through for a single. And another run for the UMass Boston Beacons off an RBI single by second baseman Caitlin Morse.
Morse just absolutely on fire. Third single this game. Another RBI, and Panthers just cannot stop this Beacon offense.
So a 3-0 lead now, as the catcher Roxanne Vento will step up to the plate.
Vento 0 for 2, struck out swinging in the first and popped out to short in the second inning.
First pitch to Vento, and it's going to plunk her, and that's going to be another run for the Beacons. And this inning just kind of getting away right now from Caitlin Miller.
Yeah, just the frustration starting to set in for the Panthers, and unfortunate. Wonder how long. Looks like head coach Bruce Addison for the Panthers is going to come out and talk with his star freshman, but we heard that she was, not 100% as of Thursday. So you wonder if that's a little bit effective. She's going to come out of this game.
Yeah, it looks like Hannah Seidner is going to take over in the circle as she's coming in with the bases loaded. Seidner this season for the Panthers has been another great pitcher. They've had just great pitching this whole season. 2.56 ERA, 7 wins, 2 losses, and 68.1 innings pitched. And Dan, just from what we've seen from Miller this whole tournament, that's just not what I expected in this outing here.
No, I wonder if she's just trying to play. She did not look like she was 100%. Kind of all over the strike zone. Normally a lot more command on her fastball, able to pick the corners, and UMass Boston really just kind of sat back and let the mistakes come to them, and that's where they saw these all these singles coming from here in the fourth inning. And Panthers just need to regroup, refocus. Hopefully Snyder can get out of get a couple outs here. Would love to see a couple strikeouts, of course, but UMass Boston with all the momentum on their side at the moment.
So bases are still loaded with 1 out. Pressmack is on third. Morse on second. Vento on first. It will be Gia Razkowski at the plate for the Beacons.
Razkowski 0 for 1. She flied out in foul territory to left field. Was also hit by a pitch in the first inning.
So Seidner now prepares to deliver her first pitch of the game. First pitch high, out of the zone for a ball. Seidner's 1-0 pitch. Low and in the dirt now, 2-0 to Razkowski.
Saw Snyder kind of working really low in her last appearance.
Two-0 pitch to Razkowski, swung on high in the air and out of play.
Lucky for her that got up and out of play, or it would have been a great scenario for the Panthers to have 2 outs.
So the 2-1 pitch now, about to be delivered by Seidner.
Seidner expected to stay inside and low.
Just missing.
It's almost as Snyder's a little worried about getting that one in the strike zone. She's trying to get the Beacons to chase, but they're just letting off of everything right now.
3-1 pitch. Taken low and inside for a ball, and it's another run for the UMass Boston Beacons.
Everything falling apart for the Panthers right now. They just can't get anything going.
So base is now still loaded with 1 out. A 5-0 Beacon lead as it'll bring up the designated player Taylor Paulina.
Paulina, 1 for 2 with a bunt single, RBI in the first, grounded out to short in the third inning. But the Beacons have broken this thing open here in the fourth. The LEC championship game.
First pitch high and again for a ball. So Seidner really has to start to work out of her danger here.
Right now it's Morse at third, Vento at second, Ruskowski at first.
That one chopped foul. Paulino with a chance to do more damage for the Beacons. 1 out, bases loaded. 1-1 pitch from Seidner. In there, called strike. As the sun comes back out here at D&M Park.
Now into our face here in center field.
And me without my sunglasses. The 1-2 pitch chopped right back to Seidner in the circle, and they're going to double off Ruskowski on first. So just what the Panthers needed, a quick 2 outs.
Yeah, a tough one there. Damage is done though, but just to get out of that jam there for Seidner and the Panthers, what they needed, but now just have to regroup, refocus, and really need some costly hitting. I don't think small ball is going to do it. They're going to have to get some big shots here to the outfield and get some extra base hits to claw back into this game.
We head to the top of the 5th. The Beacons lead at 5-0.
There's a path that takes you further in life. A breakthrough way of learning that prepares you for an ever-changing world. Plymouth State's integrated clusters approach lets you follow your own path, not someone else's. It gives you choices within your degree, open labs, real-world experience, with faculty who work with you every step of the way. Become the leader, the doer every day, a tomorrow changer. Find your own path at Plymouth State University. See further up here.
As you head off to college, you crave independence, but you want to know you're not alone. At Plymouth State University, our close-knit campus and experienced faculty allow you to learn more without going too far away. Find out more at plymouth.edu/learn more.
Fans, welcome back to D&M Park here in the LEC Championship game. And attention Panther fans, Plymouth State Athletics has launched a new online apparel store. Visit www.pantherlockerroom.com and gear up for the next big game, as we have all sorts of apparel and merchandise, interchangeable team logos, so support your favorite Panther team today.
So top of the 5th about to come your way from D&M Park. Panthers currently trailing 5-0. It'll be the top of the order due up in Kennard, Morrissey, and Rhodes.
Now Kennard right now 1 for 1, a single, stranded on second twice with a walk. But crucially so, UMass Boston with those 3 runs last inning, another 4 hits, they're up to 8. Have left a total of 6 on base though. But crucially, only 1 error against them.
We've seen the Panthers bounce back in the past. They're going to need to start doing so here with only 2 innings remaining.
But I can't get over, Weston, that the Panthers have left 6 runners on base here in the first 4 innings.
First pitch to Kennard, taking, called strike. Oh, 1 pitch. Just outside now, 0-2. Kennard finds herself in a hole.
Now we've seen Greenspan really going with the off-speed breaking balls here on these Panther batters, throwing them off.
0-2 pitch to Kennard. Watch outside.
Greenspan with the fastball, tailing away, trying to get Kennard to chase it. Great eye there by Kennard to lay off of it.
1-2 pitch now from Greenspan. Lone in the dirt, Kennard battles back to work a 2-2 count.
Greenspan looking for her second strikeout, just reached back, or third strikeout, reached back too much and kind of rolled that one in there.
Leadoff batter in Kennard, a 2-2 count. Greenspan delivers. Just low and inside now. Full count for Katie Kennard.
Yeah, Vento again trying to pull that one back up into the strike zone. Trying to wonder how, asking the home plate umpire how far low that was.
Kennard let off twice in this game, has gotten on base both times. That one a high fly ball, but foul behind the UMass Boston dugout.
Can't see who was in a tunnel off on the first base side for the Panthers, but there is someone warming up in the pen.
Three-two pitch. Swung on a drive from Kennard. It's going to get just past an outstretched glove of Pressmack. Kennard rounds first, heading for second, and she'll get in there with a leadoff double.
That's exactly what the Panthers needed. A nice hard shot, kept low. Again, the wind has died down just for a second, but those are the shots that the Panthers need, these hard liners to the outfield to get the offense going, and finally the Panthers get an extra base hit.
So it's going to bring up the center fielder in Rachel Morrissey.
Morrissey 0 for 2, struck out looking in the third, has a sacrifice bunt to advance Kennard in the first inning.
Steps up to the plate, Kennard on second. Panthers need to start capitalizing here as they trail by 5 late in the going in this LEC championship. First pitch swing, high pop-up. Camped under by Braga for a quick first out.
Not what the Panthers needed. They just got to settle down. I don't think they're offering these first pitches from Greenspan is what they're going to, what they can do. They've got to let the pitches come to them and get the counts.
Brings up the second baseman, number 6, Emma Rhodes.
Rhodes 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts in the first and third inning.
First pitch, swung on a little drive, and read wrong by the center fielder. She's going to go back to the fence. Kennard's going to round third. Rhodes rounding second, heading for a triple, and she's going to get in there. An RBI triple puts the Panthers on the board.
Exactly what the Panthers needed. Another hard shot at center field. It looked like it started to die. We saw Bonilla here just in front of us, charging in on it a couple steps, and then that thing just held up in the air and rolled all the way to the fence. Panthers finally get a run home.
And we didn't get the call, but it's actually number 15, Taylor Polina here now in center field for.
So that must have been on the change, so my apology.
UMass Boston Beacons. But a huge run for the Panthers now, only trailing by 4. And it's going to bring up designated player number 17, Avery Davis.
Davis 0 for 2, 2 groundouts to second and third back in the first and second inning.
I think we're actually going to have a pinch hitter here, Dan.
I mean, Davis has been struggling in the cleanup spot.
It's going to be Taylor Wood pinch hitting for the Panthers here, with Rhodes on third, still 1 out.
First appearance for Taylor Wood here in the championship. Unless we saw her Tuesday against Keene, I can't remember.
First pitch taken away for a ball. Wood entering play today with a .281 average. She swings on that one, pops it high in the air, but out of play. Panthers threatening here. They've gotten 1 across. They have Rhodes on third. 1-1 pitch to Wood. Chop foul back to the backstop.
Wood just waiting for that one to drop in the zone, having to try to catch up with it. Saw the breaking ball there by Greenspan sitting up high. Waiting for that one to, again, come underneath the letters, but just swung underneath it a little bit.
1-2 pitch to Wood with Rhodes on third. Taken outside, ball 2.
Beautiful eye there by Wood, not offering. Again, Greenspan has been in such control inside the circle. Able to pick her spots really all over this plate.
2-2 pitch coming to Wood. Swung on, popped high in the air. Greenspan looks for it, but it's going to be called off by Mitziaris to put it away for the second out.
Tough break there. Panthers really need a hit and break it down to 3 runs. 4 here in the 5th inning is a lot to recover from.
It's going to bring up third baseman, number 24, Mel Goss.
Goss, 0 for 2, 2 groundouts to short this game back in the 2nd and 4th inning. Someone who really lets the count come to her. Seen 4 full counts against her in the last 2 games.
Watches that one outside for a called strike. The 0-1 pitch. Low and away now for a ball. Again, Emma Rhodes on third after the RBI triple. The 1-1 pitch to Goss. Just missing on the outside part of the plate. 2-1.
Again, Vento framing it, asking home plate umpire how far that was off. It's just, I got to give it to Vento. She has been the best catcher in this tournament, just able to really dictate her pitching staff.
2-1 pitch coming from Greenspan. Swung on, popped high in the air. Mitzi Arch is going to come in again, and another put away for her. But the Panthers will finally get their first run of the game. We head to the bottom of the fifth. They trail 5-1. Bottom of the fifth inning about to get underway here at D&M Park. Westnwood with Dan Salzer here for the LEC Championship. 6, 7, 8 due up for the Beacons. Will be led off by third baseman Alyssa Tully.
Tully does get the sacrifice in the first RBI, but as she's 0 for 2, the ground out, a fly out. UMass Boston almost batted around last inning.
First pitch is taken for a ball.
And so far, UMass Boston has left 6 on base, 8 hits, 5 runs, only 1 error against them.
That one not even getting just past the circle for hitting the dirt. 2-0.
Just wonder how much these Panthers are trying to force the issue.
2-0 pitch high for a ball. 3-0 now. Seidner in early trouble. Taken, called strike. That one swung on, but over into foul territory as Morrow and Emerson both, and Goss as well, all range back to make a play on it.
Yeah, just fortunate there for Tully. That one dropped in foul.
Seidner asked for a new ball.
Again, either way this works out. If Panthers can come back, that's going to be absolutely an amazing comeback here in the 5th inning. But you got to believe that with this young staff, wait for this pitch.
Seidner's 3-2, chopped foul.
With this young staff and this young core team built around here at Plymouth State with Bruce Addison as the head coach, they have a lot more development to go, and they're going to be a powerhouse in the Little East Conference for a few years to come at least.
Yeah, a very young team here. As we deliver the 3-2 once again. Another high fly ball. Emerson ranges over to the fence, but that one will go out of play.
Great job by Tully battling here.
The umpire having a...
Yeah, it's going to be an illegal pitch once again. It looks like Seidner was out of the lane. Bruce Addison coming out, the head coach of the Panthers, just can't believe the call. But we saw this on Thursday in the last couple of games. It wasn't even just Plymouth State and UMass Boston. There was Eastern Connecticut State getting called for this as well, I believe. So it's just something about the delivery. Again, we don't know here in center field that home plate umpire did not like. And runner now on base for UMass Boston.
So Birch goes out to settle down her pitcher here as the umpires are going to come in and also explain to her where she went wrong with her delivery. Nonetheless, it will be Tully on first base for the Beacons. with the first baseman, number 19, Lauren Mitziaris, due up.
Mitziaris 1 for 2. A single and a run scored in the 4th inning as she singled through short and also lined out to right field in the 1st inning. But again, there is technically a pitching lane in the circle that gets erased by these pitchers throughout the game, so we can't see it anymore, but it technically is still there from the corners of the rubber to home plate, and they've got to be pitching within that, otherwise they're going to get called for a balk.
So the first pitch now to Mitziaris. Low and away for a ball.
Again, fans, join us on Twitter using the hashtag LEC Softball and see your tweets live on the air here in this championship game. And let us know where you're watching from and how you're enjoying this.
Beautiful bunt there from Mitziaris. Fielded by Goss on the Kennard. A bang play, but she will be out. That will advance Tully to second.
Yeah, nice sack bunt there to advance the runner.
It's going to bring up, we believe, the center fielder in number 5, Giovanna Bonilla. Although with Paulina now in center field, she's more the designated player. We'll see what we have going on here.
Kind of a pinch runner at second for Tully.
Yeah, it's going to be number 10, Kayla Harris, pinch running for Tully. And I believe we're also going to have a pinch hitter. Yeah, it will be Bellata again batting for the UMass Boston Beacons.
Yeah, once she pinched hit last inning, she kind of stayed in the game. So it's her the rest of the way in center field.
That one high but out of play behind the UMass Boston bleachers.
Bellata 0 for 1. She lined out with a hard shot there at Rhodes at second base last inning.
Oh, 1 pitch to Bellata. A huge drive out here into center field. It's going to go all the way back to the fence. They're going to send Harris around third. Bellata's going to cruise into second with an RBI double. 6-1 now, Beacons lead.
Beautiful piece of hitting there by Bellata. Again, the Panther defense kind of in, especially in the outfield, in on the grass. That got over the head of everyone, rolled to the fence. And easy for Harris, pinch running at second, to come home. And just like that, UMass Boston gets back their 5-run lead.
So runner on second, 1 down. It looks like we're going to have another pinch runner for the Beacons.
Yeah, I expect Bellata to stay in at center field after this pinch running situation, but Panthers just need to settle down here late in this game.
Looks like we're going to see Kayla Matthew once again stepping up into the circle for the Panthers.
Say Matthew pitched last game. She came in again the start of today in relief of Moylan, who left essentially the game after a 24-hour rain delay with an undisclosed injury that she suffered in warm-ups yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, and with the injury to Moylan, this is the last pitcher the Panthers have available to use, so it'll be Matthew from here on out.
And Matthew gave up 1 run. Last game is in the 5th inning as Pressmack came home to score after her single on a stolen base, and she was driven in by Caitlin Morse. So Matthew has done well for the Panthers in the circle. Looking to get some shutout softball here.
So the conference zone in the circle. Bellata will head back out to second. It's going to be the shortstop, number 3, Gigi Braga.
Braga 1 for 2, a single run scored in the 4th. She also grounded out to Goss at third base in the 2nd inning.
First pitch to Braga. In there, called strike.
Beautiful fastball there by Matthew.
Matthew now sets to deliver the 0-1 pitch. Braga shows button, pulls it back, but it's a called strike nonetheless now, 0-2.
Panthers really have to get out of this inning without giving up another run. They still have 2 outs to go.
Bellata on second, 0-2 pitch to Braga. Swung on high in the air, but back behind the Panther dugout. And it's an 0-2 pitch once again from Matthew. That one high and then away for a ball.
Yeah, Matthew there trying to get her to chase to get the strikeout. Nice eye there by Braga to lay off. Look for something down and away.
Panther outfield playing very shallow right now as the 1-2 pitch misses low and away now, 2-2.
Panthers are doing everything they can in the circle to get these Beacons to chase. They're just seeing everything coming out of the hand of the Panther pitchers.
Two-two pitch. High in the air now, full count.
And Braga's going to be sitting on a fastball. Matthew, after being up 0-2, now finds it a full count. Look for something away again.
Matthew's 3-2 pitch. Swung on a hot shot, but foul down the third base line.
Again, it looked like Birch behind the plate wanted something low. That one came up towards the letter that was hacked at nicely by Braga just to get a piece of it. More of a defensive swing to stay alive just in case that caught the top of the strike zone. Right now, Matthew really needs a ground ball. Hopefully a double play and a hot shot once again. Trying to get your runner off base.
The 3-2 pitch. Swung on, chopped over to Goss at third. She fields it cleanly. A little blooper down on Kennard, though, in the dirt, and she can't scoop it up. So first and second now on an errant throw from Goss.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be on Goss. She knocked it down cleanly, but had to rush her throw to Kennard at first. Kennard reached out for it, stretching out, but came off the outside part of her glove, popped up, and we see Braga safe.
So now we have a little conference in the circle once again for the Panthers.
But luckily so there with Goss kind of bobbling it around, it kept Bellata on at second base.
Yeah, Bellata not able to advance. And now a double play possibility as there's a runner on first. It's going to bring us back to the top of the order in Kira Pressmack.
Pressmack has done extremely well. She's 2 for 2, 2 singles, 2 runs scored. She did strike out, but reached on the drop ball by Birch that rolled to the backstop back in the second inning. So she's been on base all 3 times here. She's been up in the championship game.
First pitch to Pressmack, lays down a bunt right down the line, fielded barehanded by Goss, and another hesitation with the speed from Pressmack. She just can't get the throw off in time, and the bases are loaded for the Beacons.
Panthers have no answer for Pressmack in the lead-off spot. And believe for the third time today in this game, we see bases loaded situation for the Beacons.
It's going to bring up the second baseman, number 7, Kaylin Morse.
Morse, another huge threat. 3 for 3, 3 singles. RBI and a run scored.
First pitch high and out of the zone for a ball. One 0 pitch now to Morse. Swung on, hot shot. Once again over that third base side. That's where they've been playing it all day, just on that third base line.
Tough one here for the Panthers, but still plenty of time left in the championship game in the Little East Conference. Here at D&M Park on the campus of Plymouth State University in the foothills of the White Mountains.
1-1. Swung on, high pop up in the glove of Goss. She's going to get it and then tag the runner at third in Bellata. So a double play, 5 unassisted double play. The Beacons, though, will get another run. We head to the top of the 6-1.
Plymouth State Broadcasting, your source for complete game day coverage of every Panther home game. Find out more information about us on social media at facebook.com/PSU Broadcasting.
Back here at D&M Park, 6-7-8 due up for the Panthers in the top of the 6th inning, as they need 5 runs to tie it here.
So far, looking at the lines for both teams for UMass Boston, 8 left on base, 10 hits, 6 runs, 1 error against them. For the Panthers, so far through 5 innings, 7 left on base, 7 hits, 1 run, 1 error as well.
So it'll be led off by the left fielder, number 12, Cassidy Emerson.
Emerson is 1 for 1 with a single. Reached on an error as well in the 4th inning.
See what you can do here, as the Panthers need to start getting some life in the bats. 6 outs away from getting swept in these 2 championship games.
And we're going to have a change here, I believe.
Wait to hear what PA Address announcer Chris Kilmer says.
Again, the wind picks up once again here at D&M Park, coming in from our backs here in center field to home plate. So we apologize for the wind noise.
Emerson will step up to the plate. Nice little swinging bunt there, right back to Greenspan. Has to field it, but she'll go on to Mitziaris for a quick first out.
Like the Panthers trying to get aggressive on the first pitch, catch UMass Boston off guard.
So
unfortunately, it didn't work in that situation. They're going to say she is on.
Not sure what happened there. Maybe an illegal pitch or what was up with that, but Cassie Emerson now on first base. Did Mitziaris maybe come off the bag?
It must be from our vantage point.
So
it's the only thing I can come up with.
Be an E1 charge to Greenspan. And the Panthers with no outs now and a leadoff base runner. So a huge turn of events for Plymouth State.
3rd time this championship game that the Panthers have had the lead runner on. But they've had a lot of time struggling getting the runs home. Again, have left 7 on base this game.
So with Emerson on first, it's going to bring up the junior from Saugus, Mass, right fielder Nina Murray.
Nina Murray, 1 for 2. With a fly out to right field in the 2nd inning, a single to right field as well in the 4th. So she's starting to pull the ball more like she wanted.
First pitch swinging there, nice little chopper. On to Morse at second. They're trying to get Murray at first, but she'll be there in time. But they will cut Emerson down at second base.
Yeah, tough one there, but Murray getting the fielder's choice, so the Panthers still have some options.
It's going to bring up the catcher, number 18, Haley Birch.
And will it be Birch or Hall?
No, it is Birch. She re-entered the game.
It is Birch. So Birch 0 for 1. Correction, yeah, 0 for 1. She struck out swinging, reached on a fielder's choice before being pinch run for.
That one chopped down the third base side, but out of play.
I should know by the music for the walk-up.
Yeah, softball, one of those weird things where you can take a player out, but then just re-enter them. Never quite got that rule, as we've talked about this whole tournament.
We'll have you study for next season.
The 0-1 pitch, chopped back to the backstop now, 0-2 to Birch.
Birch is swinging for the fences to advance Murray at first, but coming up just underneath it, fouling that one straight back. Look for another fastball here by Greenspan, probably down and in, try to get Birch to chase it.
Big 0-2 pitch from Greenspan, taken outside for a ball. Good take there by Birch.
Hats off to Greenspan in the circle, really having command, as I mentioned a couple innings ago, really able to put it anywhere she wants, inside, outside, bringing it up towards the lighters, down in the dirt.
Nice little swing there. Greenspan gets a glove on it. Birch will be thrown out easily at first, but Murray will make it to second base. But with 2 down now, it's going to take a 2-out hit from Deb Morrill.
Morrill right now in the 9 spot. She is 1 for 2, a single to center field in the 3rd inning. She grounded out to short in the 4th inning. Again, we'd like to thank everyone for watching, not only on the Plymouth Portal page, but on Little East TV and also live on Pemmy Baker TV in the Plymouth area.
First pitch now to Morrill. Swung on a little liner, back up through center field. They're going to hold Murray at third as it's not deep enough to score, but a big single there for Morrill. Has runners on first and third now with 2 outs.
Yeah, smart play there to hold with Bruce Addison to hold Nina Murray on at third. You never want to get caught at home plate this late in the game being down 5 runs. Now you have a chance, even with a home run, you're pulling it to within a couple runs.
Brings up the leadoff hitter, Katie Kennard. Kennard's having a very good day here for the Panthers.
Yeah, Kennard, 2 for 2, 2 singles, a walk, and a run scored.
First pitch taken for a called strike.
Finally found her groove here in the tournament.
Greenspan now set to deliver the 0-1 pitch. Swung on, nice little hit there. Murray's going to score easily. And now it's a 6-2 Beacon lead, still with 2 outs here.
Yeah, Panthers starting to work that 2-out rally like we've seen so much this year. Still plenty of time left for these Panthers to get back in this game.
So runners on first and second, 2 down for center fielder Rachel Morrissey.
Morrissey 0 for 3 with a ground out, strikeout looking, and a pop out to short.
She'll watch that first pitch in there for a strike.
Get one. There's a gap in left center. Should get that one to the fence. A couple runs could come home.
The 0-1 pitch taken outside now, 1-1. Greenspan delivers the 1-1. Swung on and missed from Morrissey, now down in a 1-2 hole.
That's just Greenspan just daring Rachel Morrissey with a fastball. Just left out over the plate. Morrissey could not catch up with it.
The 1-2 pitch coming up here. Swung on, high pop-up right into the glove of Braga. Panthers, though, will get a run. They still trail 6-2 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. So bottom of the 6th inning here in the Little East Championship from D&M Park. Weston Howard with Dan Salzer. 3-4-5 now due up for the Beacons. They lead at 6-2. Will be led off by catcher Roxanne Vento. Vento 0 for 2 with a pop out and a strikeout. Was hit by a pitch that scored a run back in the 4th inning. As the first pitch to her will be low in the dirt for a ball. Matthew now delivers the 1-0. In there, called strike. The 1-1 pitch Swung on over to Kennard at first. She'll field it cleanly, but it's going to be a foul ball. Close play there, a lucky break for Vento.
Yeah, Vento struggling a little bit at the plate here today, but doing fantastic work catching, just keeping complete control of her defense.
The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, lined over to Rhodes, who will go on to Kennard for the out. So one down now for the Beacons, as they'll bring up the right fielder number 16, Gia Razkowski.
Razkowski 0 for 1. She was hit by a pitch in the first inning, flat out in foul territory to left, and then walked in the fourth inning. Only giving up, I believe, 1 run in relief. And that was last game, if my book's correct.
0-1 pitch. Swung on, laced foul down the third base side. Razkowski down in an 0-2 hole.
Yeah, Matthew took a little bit off of that. Razkowski was sitting on a fastball, just got ahead of it, pulling that one foul once again up at the waist. Look for Matthew to stay low in the zone on the 0-2 count. Can expect something away here. Try to get Razkowski to chase it.
0-2 pitch. Out of play, a big shot there from Razkowski.
That fastball in on the hands. Nice job by Razkowski to chase it. Still sets up that low and away.
Still an 0-2 count. 1 out for the Beacons. Matthew delivers. Low and outside for a ball.
Just missing that corner again. We'll see if she stays out there, but expect the fastball once again in.
0-2, 1 out. That one high but foul. Razkowski put a jolt into that one. We ended up at the PE center up there.
We've had a couple of hard shots in the trees off to our right and left field on out past the fence. But again, Matthew coming in on the hands, but Razkowski able to turn quickly on it, just pulling that one foul.
The 1-2 once again. Just missing the outside part. Bird's trying to frame it.
Yeah, she pulled that one back in, and if it's evident from here, you're not going to get that call, but so close. Matthew with such great command just cannot get the Beacons to chase, and that's been the problem. Beacons just don't chase after these ones close to the plate. They know the strike zone.
2-2 pitch from Matthew. Taken inside and high. Matthew now working a 3-2 count.
It's the second time Matthew has had a full count against her since coming into this game.
Razkowski working a full count. The pitch from Matthew. Swung on, chopped over to Morrill at short. It's going to be a close play, but they will get Razkowski at first off a great throw from Deb Morrill.
Morrill, nice job ranging over to her left, letting it scoop up into her glove, expecting that to hop up with all the base running we've had and the bumps in the dirt, but a nice gather, a nice throw over to Kennard at first with 2 outs.
So it's going to bring up the center fielder and Taylor Paulina.
Paulina 1 for 3 on a bunt single and an RBI in the first, a ground out and a line out since then.
Hot shot there from Paulina, picked up by Morrill on to first, but the Beacons now 3 outs away from winning the LEC championship as we head to the top of the 7th.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
As you head off to college, you crave independence, but you want to know you're not alone. At Plymouth State University, our close-knit campus and experienced faculty allow you to learn more without going too far away. Find out more at plymouth.edu/learn more.
Top of the 7th inning coming your way from D&M Park. Beacons 3 outs away. Panthers need at least 4 runs to get to the bottom of the 7th inning. Be led off by Emma Rhodes, the 3-hitter.
Emma Rhodes, so far in this championship game, she is 1 for 3 with 2 groundouts and an RBI triple her last time up in the 5th inning. Looking for another big piece of hitting here for the Panthers. And their last 3 outs, as you said, Weston.
So there appears to be some changes as they're talking up to the press box. We hope to get that from public address announcer Chris Kilmer, but we'll wait to see. So Rhodes now steps up to the plate. Swings on the first pitch, lined off the glove of Greenspan, but Braga there to pick it up. On to Mitsiaris now for the first out of the inning.
Panthers trying to stay aggressive on the first pitches against Greenspan, but she's able to keep it down, and Panthers getting on top of these, keeping them on the infield and the ground ball outs. UMass Boston 2 outs away.
It's going to bring up the designated player in Taylor Wood.
Taylor Wood 0 for 1. She popped out to first base in her pinch hitting 2 innings ago.
She'll swing on the first pitch and a nice laced shot into center field for a single. So Panthers now with a runner on base here with 1 out.
Here come the Rally Caps.
It's going to bring up the third baseman, number 24, Mel Goss.
Mel Goss 0 for 3, 2 groundouts to short and a pop out to first.
Wood on first base for the Panthers, 1 out.
And Panthers only have 2 extra base hits today with a double and a triple.
Watches that one low for a ball.
Again, 6 hits have been singles by the Panthers here today of their 8.
One-0 pitch. Taken, called strike by Goss. On that outside corner. Greenspan now delivers the 1-1 outside. Taken all the way now 2-1. Runner on first, 1 out. 2-1 pitch from Greenspan. Inside, called strike.
Oh, beautiful. That just kind of sliding up in the zone, just catching that top corner inside on Goss. Goss had no chance. If she swung at that, it would have been just a straight pop-up. Look for another fastball staying inside on Goss.
The 2-2 pitch. Chopped foul over into the UMass Boston dugout.
And wind picking up stronger than it's been in the last half an hour or so, coming in from center field straight into home plate.
Yeah, there is one more rainstorm due on its way here. It's probably what this wind is preceding.
It's gotten a lot darker in the last few minutes.
Big 2-2 pitch here, and as you say that, the lights popped on. That was pretty cool. That one chopped just down the first base line, picked up by Mitsiaris for the out, but Wood will advance to second. But the Panthers now are down to their last out.
I need a massive rally here. Stranger things have happened in softball, but all the momentum on UMass Boston's side.
Brings up the left fielder, number 12, Cassidy Emerson.
Emerson right now is 1 for 1 with a single, reached also 2 other times on errors, if I'm correct in the book.
First pitch to Emerson, taken in there, called strike. Beacons 1 out away from their first LEC championship. The 0-1 pitch, swung over to Braga. On to first, and the Beacons will win the LEC championship for the first time in school history.
Congratulations to the Beacons. They have played an outstanding tournament, and rightfully so. They have really earned this win. They had a couple of close games on Thursday. We saw them in a battle with UMass Dartmouth in that first game that saw UMass Dartmouth go to elimination against Eastern Connecticut State, and that was, again, a one-run game where they held on for a 3-2 victory. We saw them in the nightcap on Thursday against these Panthers. It's the third time they faced off in this tournament. That's how Plymouth State win 5-2 in what was a very aggressive, we saw the assistant coach for UMass Boston get tossed for arguing at first base, and just a lot of calls not going the Beacons' way. But then for UMass Boston to come back yesterday morning against Eastern Connecticut State in an elimination game at 10 a.m., to hold on to that one as well on one run, to beat Plymouth State earlier today to get to the championship game, and just hats off to the Beacons. They definitely earned this one here this season.
So as they set up the championship table here, we'll get ready to have the championship ceremonies. And talking for these Plymouth State Panthers, first time ever hosting the tournament, first time as the #1 seed, first time making it to the championship game, and as you mentioned, a young team. They're going to be strong for quite some time here.
They are, and you got to still give credit to Plymouth State. I know we try to be unbiased here with Plymouth State Broadcasting, but they've had one heck of a season. Again, we've talked about it the last 3 days. This team was very young. They didn't really have an identity and know what kind of, are they going to be a power hitting team? Were they going to be small ball hitting? How is the pitching going to do with two young players and a freshman that has absolutely stood up and taken command as the #1 in Miller, and just finally, once the snow melted here at Plymouth, and to be able to start getting the wins. I mean, they were only swept, I believe, who was it? Was it Western Connecticut?
UMass Dartmouth.
UMass Dartmouth.
Them, yeah.
Only team to sweep them. So to earn a share of the title for the first time in 2 years, to get the #1 seed, as you said, Weston, for the first time in program history, and to make it to their first championship with this young roster, they have a long way to go. Again, only graduating 3 seniors, so this core group of players will be together next year, and only time could tell. They had a great start of the year in Florida, had a little bit of shakiness when they came back up here to New England with the weather that we had in this crazy winter that seemed like it would never end. But just a fantastic season, and nothing to hang their head over. They played outstanding, but just a better team won today.
So as we get ready for the championship ceremony here, we congratulate the UMass Boston Beacons on, as you said, their first IC championship. They will head to the tournament for the first time in program history. And as the SID Ken Charrington comes down, we will send it to Chris Kilmer, the public address announcer, for the awards ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, to direct your attention to the field for the Little East Conference Softball Tournament presentation. Presenting today is the Commissioner of the Little East Conference, Cora Bromley. The Little East Conference would like to thank Plymouth State University, as well as the spectacular work of the grounds crew this year's Little East Conference Softball Championship Tournament. Let's congratulate Conference would like to congratulate this year's for a tremendous year. Congratulations to the 2017 Little East Conference from. We will now recognize the individual members of the championship team. Number 3, Gigi Braga. Number 5, number 6, Megan Hoban. Number 7, Caitlin Morse. Number 8, Jackie Flynn. Number 9, Roxanne Vento. Number 10, Kayla Harris. Number 11, Annie Thomas. Number 12, Kira Prusmack. Number 13, Ari Balata. Number 14, Alyssa Tully. Number 15, Taylor Polina. Number 16, Gia Ruskowski. Number 17, Angelina Avatable. Number 19, Lauren Mitsieres. And number 22, Chaselyn Bergio. Assistant coach, Josh Bartley. Assistant coach, Sue Killalay. And head coach, Natalia Ardagna. And now the presentation of the Tournament Most Outstanding Player Award from the University of Massachusetts Boston. Number 2, Jess Greenspan. At this time, we'd like to ask the captains of the University of Massachusetts Boston to come up and accept the Little East Conference Tournament Championship plaque. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to the University of Massachusetts Boston, the 2017 Little East Conference Softball Tournament champions. Thank you for attending the 2017 Little East Conference Tournament. Please drive home safely.
So that was public address announcer Chris Kilmer. As you see, the UMass Boston Beacons, the 2017 Little East champions, and we can't say enough, Dan, a well-deserved championship for them.
Absolutely. They just played their hearts out, battling so hard, and we called it Thursday. Every game was going to be close. There was not until this championship game, and if you even want to call it a blowout, it was still only 4 runs. Everything was in 3 runs or less. Them battling hard, as I mentioned before, when they won. 1-run win against UMass Dartmouth in their first game here on day 2, which saw UMass Dartmouth crawl back into that game and have runners left on as well. Then to come back and fall to these Panthers Thursday night at the 9 p.m. game, 5-2. What was a really aggressive, really an emotional game for the Beacons. As we mentioned, an ejection, a lot of close calls, a lot of frustration, but Plymouth State was able to keep their head. And then to come back yesterday morning against Eastern Connecticut State and eliminate the Warriors in the morning matchup to go up against these Panthers, which was originally a championship game. The Panthers kind of essentially walked through the tournament, getting 3-0 all the way to the championship game, to come back, finish that first championship game after being up 2-0 yesterday morning with a rain delay, 24-hour rain delay, to come back, hold on for the victory, and then just come out essentially guns blazing here, get out to that early 2-0 lead, and never look back and hold on for this fantastic 6-2 victory for them.
Beacons really broke this one open in the 4th inning when they scored 3 runs on a total of 4 hits. There was also that hit by pitch. And just a huge inning for them to come away with a 6-2 victory. And they announced that Jess Greenspan was the MVP of the tournament. I have to agree with that, Dan. She pitched so great in the circle for these 2 games here today.
Yeah, whenever she's coming in relief, but just taking command. She came in laying it high, working low, understanding not only the pitch count, but the situation behind her on the bases. Okay, if I need to get a ground out here, can I get a pop out and get it up in the zone? And she just did outstanding work for the Beacons. But again, as you just said, Wes, and what really turned the page for this was that 4th inning, that 3-run 4th inning, that just essentially looked like Plymouth State just realized they just got defeated and deflated at that point, and UMass Boston essentially sailed on from there.
one of the players for the Panthers that had a great tournament. I'm going to give a tip of the hat to Mel Goss. She was good at the plate. She worked a lot of good hitters counts. And then that play she had, I believe it was against these Beacons on Thursday night to keep a run from scoring that really, or no, it was actually...
It was Western. It was Western game.
They all start to blend in after a while. The Western Connecticut game, that play to save the run to give them the 3-0 victory, great play by Mel Goss. And just, I feel like she really shined in this tournament here.
She did, but what I'm going to have to go with is Deb Morrill at short. She had a lot of big, especially on Thursday, a lot of hot shots sent right at her, and she was very poised, able to gather up a lot of these ones that she had to reach out for, able to play the hop, and nice throws down to Kennard. I don't believe, again, cross my fingers looking back to my book, I don't believe Morrill had an error against her in this tournament, but she will be my MVP for the Panthers. But final lines for both teams. First, for the Panthers, they left 10 on base, had 10 hits, 2 runs, and had 1 error against them. UMass Boston, 8 left on base, 10 hits, 6 runs, and 2 errors. And really, that's where things get left off here. And what a very eventful and very entertaining LEC softball tournament.
So a tough loss for the Panthers, but not all is lost. Plymouth State Women's Lacrosse picking up a huge championship victory today down in Eastern Connecticut, a 12-11 final down there, as just a great game for the women's lacrosse team.
Yeah, absolutely. A nice redemption for the Panthers against the Warriors, as Eastern Connecticut State came up here last week on Senior Day, both undefeated going into the game, and got a 1-run win, or 1-goal win, that is. 14-13, I believe, was the final of that one. That saw Eastern Connecticut State get the #1 seed. So a redemption tour for the Panthers, getting sneaking out on, what was it, Thursday, with the semifinal win. I'm trying to look back on this one against Keene State. Thursday, a 1-run win over Keene State, and then getting that 1 goal. I'm saying runs because of softball. 1-goal win over Eastern Connecticut State. Congratulations to them, and it's been a very successful year for Plymouth State sports all the way back to the fall.
So that being said, will probably most likely be our last home broadcast. We don't expect them to have a home tournament game, and we would just like to thank a bunch of people.
Yeah, before that, we'd like to thank over 300 devices that connected to this championship game. We usually figure around 1.5. At this point, I'm going to say it's at least 2, being that all the families gathering together who could not make the travel up here to Plymouth State for the championship game. So I'm going to say at least 600 people watching at home. We'd like to thank you all for joining us. It's been a wild and crazy 3 days for all of our staff here at Plymouth State Broadcasting, but so many people to thank, as this will be our last broadcast, as Weston said. Andrew Fenn, who's helped out so much in our collaboration with him with Pemmy Baker TV to not only show some of our games as replays, as games of the week, but also bringing you the live coverage here, starting really in the wintertime and carrying over to the spring. Alexandra Rafe Snyder, Colin Letty, Chris Underwood, Gavin Cook, Jillian Rooney, Justin Saworski, Joey LeBlanc, Michael Mahoney, Sam Villamagna in the first half of the year, my partner today, Weston Atwood, and then everyone in athletics as well who have really supported us and really built this program, as we say every season, up to where it is. Kim Bounds, our athletic director, Courtney O'Clair, our associate athletic director, Lauren Levine, another associate athletic director, and Ken Charrington as our SID, helping us out with stats every game, and as we really, a close-knit community here at Plymouth State, and just a little shout-out to all of them, and again, we would not be where we are today with Plymouth State Broadcasting as we have grown over the last couple years, not only without their support and without our fantastic student-run staff, but also all you fans at home.
Yeah, it always amazes me when I first started here 2 years ago now, which feels like forever ago. We had a little Dell laptop and a little plug-in headset, and now we have 2 cameras. We have a green screen back in our office. It's just an amazing accomplishment what we've been able to do. So once again, for the final score here, 6-2 for our cameraman, Joey LeBlanc. My producer here, Andrew Fenn, my colleague, Dan Salzer. This is Wes Natwood signing off here from D&M Park.